Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I am very good. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's about your journey in the music industry and how you got to where you are today.
Awesome. Cool.
Cool. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Bristol, Virginia, Bristol, Tennessee area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm in Nashville right now.
Oh, did you move to Nashville? Okay, tell me about growing up in Bristol. Were there places for you to catch live music?
Yeah, well, it's the birthplace of country music, which is really cool, even though I'm not in country music.
Sure.
So there was like rhythm and roots, which was really cool. And it was a little bit of like country and then more roots, like Americana too, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom's a voice teacher. She was actually in the music industry at 17.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah, so she's my voice teacher.
It says on your Instagram that you write songs with your mom.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's really fun writing with my mom. Not many people can do that or say they
right.
Can so.
So your mom's a voice teacher and she's your voice coach, I guess. I would take it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes we like Skype and like we'll do voice lessons that way unless I'm like there, but
So she was a singer.
Growing
up.
Singer
okay.
And writer. Yeah. She lived in New York City for 15 years and was signed at 17. And so she had a career in it too, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow. So she was signed to a record label, the whole thing. She was doing it.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
So she kind of set the stage for you, right? Yeah, that's awesome.
She did. Yeah.
Okay. So you started learning how to sing for your mom. Do you play an instrument?
I play a little bit of piano, just enough to get by, honestly. And I took piano I took it so much. Like in college, I took it, and through high school, I took it, and I just couldn't get into it. And I wish I could get into it more. I'm actually trying to get into it more too. But I play chords and obviously can play enough to write and sing and perform and stuff like that. So
very cool.
Yeah.
So you mainly write on the piano?
Well, I actually mainly write to tracks.
Okay.
But if I don't have any tracks that are being sent my way, or if I'm not working with a producer or the two producers out are in the UK, then I'll write on the piano.
Got it. Right on.
Yeah.
So what were your early memories of performing in front of people?
I would say musical theater was probably, it was more of like how it started. And then also my mom's, a lot of her like recitals and stuff like that. So I was on stage at a really young age, but not actually performing my own stuff.
Got it.
So like your covers
Yeah. So your mom's a voice teacher for people in the area, and she puts on like a recital for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then I was also in musical theater. So.
Very cool. And then were you ever in like a band or anything?
I actually wasn't. I wasn't out through like high school and stuff like that. I wasn't.
Were you writing songs in high school?
Yeah, a little bit, but mainly singing, honestly. It was not a lot of writing until I started writing with my mom. And she kind of like taught me how to write, which it helped me move along a lot faster and get better faster writing with someone that's really good and that's been doing it forever,
Totally.
So yeah. So that's really cool. Yeah.
When did you open that door? Like, did you ask your mom like, hey, I want to start learning to write songs? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. So in high school, I started working with a producer, and he would have tracks. And, at first I was like, oh, I need to find some more writers and stuff to write songs for me. And then eventually I was just like, no, why? That's not being an artist. That's not what the art is about. And now I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's like such a big passion of mine now. But I had those tracks. And so we just kind of started writing to them, and she just kind of helped me, form the way. And she's so good with lyrics. So and melodies kind of came easier to me at the time. So
that's awesome. What was the first song you guys wrote together?
It's I think Fanning the Flame.
Okay.
It's called Fanning the Flame. Yeah.
And you didn't put that. What was the first song you wrote and put up online?
Honey.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Honey. It was the first one I wrote with my mom that I actually put out.
Wow. Was that the first song you ever like really released to the world?
Yeah, I actually released Fanning the Flame under my actual name, but then I changed my actual name to Ria Marie, which my full name is Alexandria Marie.
Okay.
So
And
Gibson.
then you changed
So
it
yeah. So I did
it.
release that, but it was under another name.
Sure. So the first thing you've put out under Ria Marie was Honey.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Rad. So tell me about, how did you get to Nashville? Like, how did that journey begin?
I went to MTSU and I got a music business degree, which is why, and that was in Murfreesboro. So, like an
How'd
hour
you get into the school? Did you have to like audition to get into school?
Yeah, I did. And I toured Belmont too, but I actually got paid to go to school. I got like $600 a month just to go to school. So I was definitely like going straight to MTSU because I was like, I am not, and I loved the program too. And everybody seemed really genuine. So it just fit perfectly.
So you got like a scholarship there. Wow.
Yeah.
Very
and they
cool.
paid for like a percentage of my books and stuff too. It was really nice.
Wow. And you went there you said music business?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Rad. That's kind of probably right up your alley with
it helps a lot.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to school, you went to college, and you said you did have to audition to get into the school?
Yeah, to the School of Music, which I ended up minoring in.
Okay.
I minored in music. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. And then from there, you went to, is that when you're done with college, is that when you moved to Nashville?
Yeah, about a year and a half ago or so. Yeah.
Okay. And then what were you going there? Were you taking trips there with your mom or anything prior to moving? Like what made you?
I took one trip there and I at first I was in between like going to New York City and then going to Nashville, but my mom was like, I was there at 17, and it's huge and it's hard and it's a lot to take in at 17, not knowing anybody. So she was like, I would go to Nashville, because she came here and wrote for a little while before she had me too, and then moved to Bristol. Yeah. So she's like, I'd go to Nashville. And so we looked into schools and ended up going to MTSU and getting the scholarships and stuff. So yeah, it's awesome.
And then, you just stayed there when you finished school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then were you like, so how did you start writing like Honey and getting your name out there and really going with Ria Marie?
So it's really cool. These two producers from the UK messaged me on Instagram after they saw like a few covers that I had done. And they were like, hey, you should work with us. We'll send you some tracks. And that had happened a few times before. And, I didn't care for tracks that people sent me or, whatever it was at the time. But they sent me, the first song they sent me was Honey. And I was like, and I was at home at the time visiting my mom. I grew up on a farm. So she has a studio in town and then a farm, which is about 25 minutes out, that's rad. Absolutely gorgeous and awesome. I love it. But we were in the car and we were at the farm and she put it on and she was like, that's really good. She's like, okay, and then we just ended up writing it. Just right then we just ended up writing it. And then when I came back to Nashville, I finished it and put it out.
Wow.
Did the music video and stuff. Yeah. So it's really cool. And now I've been working with them ever since. I actually went to the UK and met them for the first time in February.
How was that?
It was so awesome.
Had you ever been to the UK before?
I'd been to Europe. I backpacked Europe with a friend of mine in college for a month and a half. So I've been to Europe, but I'd never been to the UK.
Sure.
Yeah, and not alone either. I'd never traveled alone before.
Yeah, was it cool meeting them and stuff?
It was so fun. So Jared is the main producer I work with, and Simon, he does more of like the mixing and mastering, but I mainly just work with Jared. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I get things mixed and mastered here just because of the time difference is so hard to go back and forth. It takes forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's really hard to kind of go back and forth with that. But I worked with Jared And we just clicked automatically. Like it was like we had known each other forever, you know. And I know that's like a saying, you know,
sure, that's
forever,
awesome,
but it really felt that way, you know.
Yeah.
It really felt that way. So we just clicked immediately, and we just started writing like 15 to 20 tracks. And
wow.
yeah. And I was there for about a month, almost a month, so about 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah,
and that was just recently, like in February.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
I actually cut it really close. So
I was gonna say that was probably pretty close to when they shut down everything, right?
Yeah. So I got back on March 3rd or 4th, and like right after that they like shut everything down. You know,
Yeah.
he like messaged me after. He was like, "You cut it really close." Like, really close. Like I couldn't imagine if I got stuck over there. I mean, they probably would have let me crash, you know, with them or something. But
you'd probably still be there.
Yeah, I would still be there. Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. And running out of
Wow.
a lot of money.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were just out there. So you went out there in February and you cut a bunch of new songs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Was one of those Playground or was that just
that
the
was
most
an
recent?
older one?
Okay.
Yeah. So that was just the next song to put out.
Sure. Okay. So
and
you
that
put
was
out.
actually gonna. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
And that was actually going to come out sooner, but then the pandemic happened and everything kind of just changed that.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was actually supposed to release it as soon as I got back. So pulled it. So
sure. So you released Honey in 2018, and then the next single between Playground and Honey was Better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that song's done really well for you. It looks like even on Spotify, you have like 60,000 plays on it.
Yeah.
So tell me about
really
that song.
So that one actually, it's cool. They sent me that track, and I always get really excited when they send me a track. You know, I'm always like, yeah, fuck yeah. You know, like it's just,
sure.
I get so pumped. So I think I was at a red light and I was fucking texting on my phone. But a email came up and I played it, and as soon as I heard it, I got the melody for the hook immediately. So by the second chorus, I had the melody by the second chorus, and I was like flooring it on the way home to go in the studio, start writing it,
record it.
Yeah. So it's just like pedal to the metal all the way home, and I wrote it really fast, and it just me on it, and it just, I don't know, it just came out. It just, the melody the melody came out immediately. And the lyrics, I was actually reading a book by Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now.
Okay. I've heard the book.
Yeah. I was reading that, and it said something, it's going to be this or something better. And I was like, that's a cool song. That would be awesome. And so it came into Him or Something Better.
I like it.
So yeah. So that just kind of, I like to read, just kind of spark, my creativity.
Sure.
So, and it did, and then I wrote it really fast after that. Yeah.
And then how did it do so well? Do you know, did it get playlisted?
Yeah, it did. And then my rep and I, Brian, he, we reached out to iHeartRadio, and I got to go to New York City and perform on iHeartRadio, and did So Far Sounds shows, and did a lot of shows in town, and really started playing out a lot. So 2019 was kind of a big growth year.
Mm-hmm. For your live performances?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're playing out around Nashville area, and you did some other bigger shows. And then was that around the time, like when did you start writing Playground, or is that like an old song?
So Playground, I wrote with a friend of mine, Juliet Riley. She's here in Nashville too. And we wrote that not too long after Better, I think. It wasn't that much longer. I think after Better came out. Yeah.
You just kind of held on to it for a little bit?
Yeah, I did. Okay. And because Better was doing so well and it was going so long, the length of that, so like the lifespan of the song was going on for a while, so I just kept it writing.
Sure. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so but I have a lot of new songs coming up.
I was going to say, yeah, you've got a lot of new stuff on the way. Do you have a record coming out or?
So I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'm not going to release a full album. Just I would probably
maybe like
release
an EP,
2 EPs or an EP, or something like that. But I think I'm just going to try to release singles. The singles that I have now, just kind of put them out. So
yeah, that makes sense. And then what you said, where you waited on releasing Playground because of the pandemic, or
I did.
Like, do you have another song coming out that you're going to release during this, or you're going to kind of just wait and see what happens?
I do. I am still picking between like a few to put out. And I actually wrote one about 2022, not 2022, but 2020 as well. I wrote one about 2020, and I started writing it, and then I was like, you know what? Like, at first I was like, 2020 is just a mess. Like, that was just the hook. 2020 is a mess, right? And as it progressed, it became more of like, it's a mess, but I think we're going to come out better on the other side. Of this. So it's like, I think as a whole, I think we're all going to come out spiritually better. I think that it was meant to happen, so it's not just a mess in the sense of, it was a blessing too in disguise that no one really sees,
Sure,
so so I was waiting on that one to finish writing that, because I want to see what 2020 actually brings. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't want to put it out and have it even go even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Already.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully it'll start the uphill.
I hope so. I really hope so. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah. So you were playing a lot. You were playing out a lot in 2019. Were you going to tour anything in 2020 or?
Well, I had a lot of shows booked in 2020 that I had to cancel. I had a lot. I had 4 or 5 shows in LA that I was supposed to go to right after Europe. I was like going from the UK, like pretty much straight to LA. After that. Yeah. And I had shows there, and then had shows here booked. So, I was traveling a lot. I was going to go to Atlanta. After that, I had a few shows in Atlanta booked in May. So, I was really, really getting it going. And then it was kind of like a tidal wave. I felt like I was like going and really, performing out a lot. And then it was just like the tidal wave hit a wall, and it just reverberated right back into the ocean. It was just like a big halt, So that's what it felt like to me at first. It was kind of hard to get into the swing of things, not performing out, it was but I learned a lot about myself during this time. And I've also created some amazing songs because I like to write alone too. So,
okay. So you've been able to write while,
or
whatever. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. I like to write by myself most of the time. So,
Well, this pandemic has definitely probably shifted how you were going to promote. I mean, even Playground, right?
Yeah.
How have you been able to, like, how have you been adapting to it?
Just the best we can. I mean, that's also why I waited, to put it out, because I just didn't know how it was going to go. But we're just kind of going with it, sending it to media outlets and playlists and stuff like that. And it's actually doing pretty well so far. I think it's up to like 10,000 streams already. Which is great.
Yeah, over than that. More than almost 14,000.
14,000, yeah. So, that's doing really well. But it was hard when it came to media, because I know a lot of people got, laid off or, furloughed, so I know a lot of people in the media aren't working as much, obviously.
Yeah, actually, I worked on the radio here in San Diego, and I got
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, a lot of people had to, stopped for a little while.
Yeah,
so.
it's been a year for sure.
Yeah, it has. It really has. Yeah.
Have you been going live on your Instagram or anything like that, promoting the song?
I haven't. I honestly hate it. I do. I just hate it. Like, I just hate it. Like, not many people I know actually watch live streams.
Right.
You know,
I think it was a real big thing when everyone was like, "Oh, we can't play, so let's do this." And then
let's just overwhelm people with so much live stream that it's it was like crazy. I did do one, and it was really cool because it was also with a dance crew. So they did like dance moves and stuff like that, or they choreographed dances to different songs, and then I had a song in between, like intermission type of thing.
Oh, sure.
And then I performed 2 songs in between, and then they continued dancing. So that was really cool because, it was several different types of art coming together,
Right. And then would they just cut to you and like, all right, your turn.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there like ready to play.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that was fun. But other than that, I like performing out because you get the energy, like there's an energy there that you just can't get performing online. And it just, and the sound quality, like, let's be real, like, it's just not, like, come on, let's cut the shit. It's not good. It's not good sound quality either.
Yeah. I like the bands that have been trying to like fake it. Like they'll do, it's like, they'll just put the produced song up and then it's like them they just do that. Yeah, like it's a full, totally produced like video that makes it look like they're all jamming like in quarantine.
You're like, where's the synths? I don't see any of the synths or like the drum pad anywhere. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've seen a couple like where bands will just take it to like the extreme where it'll be like, they'll be playing like with these weird things, like just weird stuff, so it's not they're not playing their instrument, but they're like in the bathroom, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like the water bottle and the whole. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of that, which is it's cool to see when they they show like their the production, how they did it, and then release it, and not try to act like they just did it then, live.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, that's cool. So Playground's out. You've got a bunch of songs ready to go. Do you have anything else planned for the year aside from hopefully this quarantine ending?
I don't, man, it's kind of hard to plan for it, honestly. I'm going to LA in September, and I'm going to write with a few people out there, and I'm going with a friend here that she's a female producer and writer and artist.
Nice.
So I'm going out there, going to wear my mask and just be in like a few rooms, with people, just a few writes and stuff like that, because I need it for my soul. I need to get out, and I really need to, I need to write with other people again. And my friend was going, and she asked me literally like 3 days ago, and she was like, "You want to just go?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's do it." Like, let's just do it, And I'm going to be really careful, obviously, about all of it. Cause I do not want to have a fever for 3 weeks and be,
Yeah. We're in San Diego, just south of LA, and
our
host, I mean, our state is still horrible with it, I guess,
I know.
Yeah.
My best friend lives out in San Francisco.
Okay.
And she's like, it's pretty, like, not many people are going out. Like, it's pretty shut down here.
Yeah, everything. And they just, like, they started opening stuff, and then they just had to pull everything back. So.
Right. Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. Like before they had like a restaurants open to a certain extent, and now it's indoor. Yeah. Nothing indoor.
Yeah.
So.
Which is good. I mean, it's good to keep people, inside, or keep people at a distance with people, or, cause in Bristol right now, they're about to have a race, and 30,000 people are going to get together and decide to hang out and watch NASCAR. And
they're going to go with
Cool.
They're going forward with it?
They're going with it. Yeah.
Wow.
It blew my freaking mind, because I just, really?
Right. They're not doing any other sports live like that.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. Just because the race car drivers are distancing doesn't mean the people
are.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah. I thought that was really wild. So I really hope it falls through.
Yeah.
Because my mom and my friends that still live there, like that's rough, you know.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
How far is that from where you live in Nashville? Is that close or?
So it's about like 4.5, 5 hours.
Oh, okay. It's not too close
at all.
It's a
pretty easy drive.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not 2 hours, but it's easy drive just because it's so pretty.
Sure.
You know, Virginia is so pretty. It's so gorgeous going in with the rolling hills, and it's just so beautiful, you know.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Well, Ria, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
So much fun talking to you.
I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Whew, okay. Advice for aspiring artists. I would say don't try to put yourself in a box. Mm-hmm. Whatever comes to you with like any type of music, like don't try to put yourself like because artists wear so many hats. Independent artists, they have to wear so many different hats, and it's hard to take this hat off and okay, now let me put my songwriter hat on. Okay, now let me put my artist hat. Now let me put the business or manager, you know. So I would say to when you're writing or when anything comes to you, don't try to think about your brand. Think about what you want to write about, what you actually feel, and write that way. Because getting in between like brands and stuff like that has really affected me in the past. And, you know, especially when I first started, and, you know, now I don't really think about it anymore. I just release whatever feels like me, you know? So I guess that's what my advice would be.